चालू की ना.
Okay, so can any student please tell me, what have you gone through so far, so that we can interact a little bit before beginning the session. I just want a little interaction from your side. Anyone, please, what you have gone through? Anyone can tell me.
Those who want to interact with the sir, they can raise their hand. Then we announce your name. Then you can unmute yourself, and then you can talk. If you want to interact with the sir, just let him know what you have learned in the today's session in the morning.
Okay. No problem. So I'll begin with the flow. Okay, the way I wanted. Okay. So
No
I'm just
issues.
sharing the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So sir, it is visible. Screen is visible. Okay.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay. Right. Great. So hello everyone. This is Saurabh Raghuvanshi, and now we are going through the presentation flow, what I have prepared for this specific session. Okay. And especially designed for the fundamentals and
Sir,
some
there
mix
is
of,
one student. Sorry, sir, for
yes, sir.
you.
Okay.
There is one student
Yes.
who have raised the hand. Shubham
Yeah, please, sir.
Shubham
Yes, Shubham.
Can speak now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. So, sir, in
Yeah, good
last
afternoon,
class,
Shubham.
we saw the regression, like classification and type of neural network present, and there's how they work. There are very basic things about that.
Very basics. Okay. So
Yes, sir, yes, sir. Like,
what a neuron is. Okay. How neuron works. What are
yeah,
different inputs and outputs. Okay. Everything you know,
he's
right?
also told
Okay.
analogy of electrical origin and biological neuron and all that.
Okay.
And the classification.
Very good. Okay, great. Yeah. So you have a better idea and the fundamental understanding of the neuron and also of the neural network. Okay. So what I will be doing, I'm just presenting my presentation flow now, and then we will tweak the time a little bit so that we will not give so much focus for the very fundamental things. Okay, but we'll explore some mathematical aspect more. Okay. Thank you for the information. Okay.
Okay, Shubham,
So,
now you
what
can
I'm going
lower
to
your
present.
hand, okay? Please lower your hand, and Sarvesh, mute yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is the presentation flow. So firstly, firstly we'll try to figure out the human brain and its inspiration from nature. Why I have taken nature as a core of the subject, just because this is something which is inspire us to work on. Okay, whatever things, whatever invention you see around you, it actually inspired somewhere directly or indirectly from the nature. So we need to understand the very basic and intrinsic thing which lies in the nature, because once we are able to understand it, we can do and design things in a better way. Then the second thing is the type of learning which you have already gone through. Possibly I'll give a very brief information because you have already gone through, and then I'll go through the quick review of the simplistic neural model, a simple neuron, and the mathematics behind that, because I'm going to explore it mathematically a little bit more. So I will also give a short summary of what mathematics is involved there. And then I will go through the y is equal to mx plus c. I hope everyone knows about this, y is equal to mx plus c. This is a simple line equation, but I'll use this line equation into, in different manner with reference to the artificial neural network, right? Then I'll go through the ANN learning cycle. There is a learning cycle, okay, which I'll be explaining, which actually you may have gone through in the previous session, but I'll try to give a detailed view of what is the learning cycle through block diagrams and some mathematics. Okay. And then I'll explain about the parameter mapping in neural networks, what different parameters are there, okay, and how they are actually getting mapped as the input and output in a neural network, okay, and why this is one of the most important factor when designing a neural network. Okay. And then the next point is the artificial neural network in COVID-19 positive negative detection. I'm just going to give you an intuitive view that how can you use this neural network architecture or neural network design or the mathematics, the basic mathematics in neural networks, how can you model, something, a network which can detect whether a patient is corona positive or not. Okay. So on the basis of his or her some symptoms, we'll be deciding whether the person is, affected by the disease or not. Okay. That we will see a simplistic example. Okay. I may not be giving you the complete detail of that because that is not possible in this short session. But yes, most of the thing, and conceptually and mathematically, I'll try to keep it very simple so that every one of you will be able to understand it. Okay. And the next point is, I'll be explaining about the artificial neural network using Python in GC. Okay. So this GC is something which I have taken as an, I have just hidden it because this is something which has to be, remain dormant for time. I'll explain it later on when the slide will come. Okay. So what I'll be doing here, I'll be using the Python programming in some platform, which is actually independent of machine. You can directly work on the browser. There is no need to install any software when you are working with Python. So I'll be giving a simple example of sigmoid function and a little bit more that how to make it in Python in a given platform through a browser. Okay. I think this is what everything is. There is one more thing. Okay. Then I'll go through the, there is something called like the TensorFlow playground. Okay. Then I'll explain about the TensorFlow playground in which you can visualize things. Okay. अभी तक हम पूरे सेशन में जो भी थ्योरी पढ़ेंगे, जितनी भी चीजें डिस्कस करेंगे, okay, we'll go through so many points and things in detail probably, and then how can we, link all that theory in a simplified visualization, because once you are able to see things, you are able to remember them better, you are able to analyze them better. Okay? And when we talk about the analysis and looking at things, here comes a very important term which we are going to explain, okay, in the next class, in the next slide. So let's begin with the class. Well, this question I already have asked with you all. What do you have understood so far? And thank you for giving me the information for that. Now, the human brain and inspiration from nature. So what we learn from nature. I want this class to be a little bit interactive. Okay. Please, you can answer me. Okay. Please answer me whenever. If you're willing to interact, then we are going to share more information. So please, can anyone tell me what we learn from the nature? I'm just telling you, it is a pattern. Okay. It's a pattern. We learn patterns from the nature. Okay. And so the next question arises, what is a pattern? What is a pattern? And what are different patterns, right? A pattern is something which is very obvious sometime and sometime not. Okay. And this is something which is deeply rooted, in our brain. Okay. We can easily look for the pattern. We can easily see patterns like you may be looking on the background, which I have, right? In this background, you can simply see a blue color, right? A dark blue, navy blue color. So this itself is a sort of pattern, can be treated as, it can be treated as a pattern. Just a minute. Yes, I have something to show. This is what, can you see? This is a leaf, right? And have you seen some patterns in the leaf? Yes, there are many patterns in the leaf. And those patterns are actually inspired by the nature. And what we develop are also inspired by the nature in the same way. As we can see this leaf here itself, we can see there is a line at the center, okay, which acts as as a carrier of the water throughout the leaf. And there are different, different branches coming out of this center line. So we have one center line in the leaf, and then there are various branches coming out. So this is again a pattern. Okay. When I talk about the pattern, it's everywhere. And once we are able to understand the pattern, okay, we can understand the pattern, and only then by understanding it, we can, propose a solution of a problem on the basis of patterns. वो कैसे होता है? This is something we are going to discuss in the course. And what are different patterns? There is something called as the Fibonacci series and the Fibonacci numbers. There is something also called as the golden ratio. and plants and their growth with respect to sunlight. अब फिबोनाची के बारे में आप लोगों ने सुना होगा. Any one of you have ever heard of the Fibonacci or golden ratio? फिबोनाची और गोल्डन रेशियो के बारे में आप में से किसी ने पढ़ा है या सुना है?
यस सर, सुना है.
हाँ बताइए, क्या सुना है, थोड़ा सा कुछ बताइए. एनीथिंग.
सर फिबोनाची सीरीज तो एक सीरीज है. आई कैन रिमाइंड एग्जैक्टली व्हाट इज दिस सीरीज थी सर.
ओके ओके
सर गोल्डन रेशियो जैसे सर कुछ भी जो ब्यूटीफुल चीज है सब उनका एक रेशियो है नेचुरल. ताजमहल का भी, फूलों का भी है.
राइट.
सर वही
जो नेचुरल ऑब्जेक्ट्स हैं, एग्जैक्टली वही है. ठीक है. सो बेसिकली व्हाट इज दिस? दिस इज अ मैथमेटिकल रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ द नेचुरल फिनोमेना. Okay, and those natural phenomena may be microscopic or macroscopic. Okay, they may be as big as the universe or as small as the DNA. Okay? So you can imagine the range of operation of this Fibonacci series and the golden numbers when defining the natural phenomena mathematically. And once we know the pattern, we know that this is the ratio which is to be maintained. Then we can use the same ratio and the same numbers, okay, and we can modify them the way we want, and we can develop another phenomena which may be similar to that natural phenomena. तो हम करते क्या है, जो भी natural phenomena है, we are just analyzing it, trying to figure out how it works, and then we actually convert the functioning of that phenomena mathematically, and then mathematics it involved again to develop a mathematical model, okay, and which is applied for different applications, and the same is applicable for the human brain. Okay, we have developed. So okay, so plants and the sun trees, weather also have the pattern. Then we have the human body, and the brain also has a pattern. Okay, so there is one thing to be remembered, that there is a pattern in everything we see or we do. Okay, as example I have taken Gaussian. So well, raindrop is spherical. There are so many things to be discussed, but I'm not discussing everything. Let it be. But all you need to understand from these slides is that there is a hidden pattern in each and everything, whether you are able to see it or not. And pattern is something which is repeated, right? Which is repeated. And there has to be repetition, and that has to be identified. And we need to convert it, into a mathematical model, and then we can utilize it. Okay. So this is all about the background of the artificial neural network, basically how it evolved from the nature. Okay, this is the evolution of the artificial neural network from the nature. There are some examples for that. That pattern of Fibonacci, that Fibonacci series and the golden ratios are also present in the sheep, okay, cell, and also in the thumb we have. Okay, in this thumb we are also having the spiral pattern. Okay, we have the spiral pattern. Okay, in the same way we can see, I have taken this from the Google, right? I have not clicked these photos. So right, so these photos, you can see that here we have the tsunami wave, here we have we have the universe, right? And then we are having some of the plants there. We are having the galaxy. This is the universe. Even the universe itself, having a pattern, and that pattern of the universe also lies in our thumb, and even in the DNA we have. तो जो मैंने आपको शुरुआत में बताया था कि जो पैटर्न है, that is all evading, even from the universal structures to the thumb or to your DNA. Okay, the structure of the DNA itself is a pattern, and once we know the pattern, ठीक है, जैसे मान लीजिए आपको कोई पैटर्न पता है, okay, you know this is a specific pattern of something, and once there is something missing in the pattern, then you can very easily identify that missing part in the pattern. And this is the advantage of knowing a pattern. ठीक है? Are you getting what I'm saying? Once we know a pattern, okay, we know that this is a pattern, right? And now we got a new pattern which is similar to that one. And then there is something missing in that pattern. Okay. In that case, on the basis of previous information, because we know what the pattern is or the way it should behave, we will easily identify, okay, or detect what is missing in that pattern. Okay, and this is something which we use in supervised learning, or supervised learning, exactly. which you may have gone through in previous session, right? Now the type of learning we all know about. They are the three types primarily: the supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. The supervised is simply like a supervisor. जब भी कोई काम होता है तो उसमें सुपरवाइजर्स होते हैं, राइट? व्हेन देयर इज पीएचडी थीसिस और द मास्टर्स थीसिस या बीटेक में भी जो प्रोजेक्ट्स होते हैं, यू हैव अ सुपरवाइजर. ओके, एवरीवन हैज, राइट? सो वी हैव सुपरवाइजर्स. व्हाई? बिकॉज सुपरवाइजर नो व्हाट शुड बी द आउटपुट. ओके, सुपरवाइजर को पता होता है कि आउटपुट क्या है, राइट? व्हाट आउटपुट वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग. ओके, एंड देन that supervisor instruct the student to work in such a way so that he or she is able to get this particular output. Okay, and how that is done, what are the different methods of doing so? Okay, we are going to explain mathematically and conceptually in detail in coming slides. Okay, and then we have unsupervised learning. In unsupervised learning, we don't have any supervisor. Okay, it means it's only we. It's like a PhD degree, right? देखिए, जैसे जो बीटेक के प्रोजेक्ट्स होते हैं, देखिए मैं आपको बहुत सिंपल कंपैरिजन बता रहा हूँ. जो बीटेक में प्रोजेक्ट्स होते हैं और जो पीएचडी का वर्क होता है, उसमें क्या डिफरेंस होता है? बीटेक प्रोजेक्ट्स में आपको पता होता है कि आपको क्या करना है. ओके, यू नो व्हाट टू बी डन. ओके, देन यू वर्क अकॉर्डिंगली. यू जस्ट कलेक्ट सम कंपोनेंट, कलेक्ट सम सॉफ्टवेयर, वर्क ऑन देम एंड डेवलप अ सॉफ्टवेयर विच विल बी एज सेम एज द आउटपुट यू वांटेड. ओके, कभी कभी होता है कुछ डिफरेंसेस रह जाते हैं. देयर आर सम डिफरेंस, राइट, with the output you want and what you actually achieved, right? Okay, जैसे let's say you are giving a MCQ exam of 100 marks and you are getting say 90 marks out of 100. तो expected क्या था? What was expected maximally you to have is 100 marks, but you are getting just 90 out of those. So there is a difference of 10. Okay, and this is something, an example again of the supervised learning in some way. And when we talk about the unsupervised, like a PhD work, we actually keep on working in a PhD, but sometimes we wanted to go somewhere and we reach somewhere else. And even at the starting, we don't know what we want to do. Okay, this happens a lot of time when we are heading in some directions. We find out some new things and then again we move in, somewhere else. Okay, so this is something, some sort of unsupervised things, right? And then we have reinforcement in which we actually give, say, credit or decredit a system on the basis of its performance. I'll be explaining it in detail, right, in further slides. Now the simple question. Okay, aap logon ne, I just wanted to know from any of you that how many neuron cells are in human brain? How many neuron cells are in human brain? They may be, thousands, lakhs, crores, or less than that, or more than that. This is simple biology. I think you may, some of you may have gone through. How many neurons are there? Actually, there are approximately 86 billion neurons. This is something which I have taken from the Nature. Okay. This information is from the Nature, right? And this I have taken from the Google, right? So approximately 86 billion neurons are in the human brain. Okay. So now after some time, right? Sometime, we are going to discuss about a neuron and its mathematical model and its classification properties, right? How it classify. And there we'll be talking about just one neuron. Okay. And you will find out then even the operation of one neuron is, of this much complexity. It may be not, but when we, add one more neuron, it become more complex, and then more neurons then become more complex. So as number of neurons increases, the complexity also increases. But imagine that we are having this, 86 of billion neurons, right? And then even after having these neurons, we are having, interconnection among them also. So our human brain is a gigantic network, right? Gigantic network, right? And where a lot of information is moving here and there, right? And they are in the form of spikes. One very simple, this is a hands-on session, right? As it was said. So For a hands-on session, I just want one more information from your side. Can any one of you tell me that, you know, how our memory works, right? How we remind of things. Let's say you can see there is an object in my hand, okay? And you can simply say this is a mobile phone, okay? So what in the brain exactly, you know, tells you that, okay, this is an object which is, you know, is a mobile phone? Can any one of you tell the answer for this? Let's say this is what? You all know that this is a leaf, right? Leaf of a plant, right? I think it's of a mango plant possibly. No, it's not. So this is a plant tree. Sorry, this is a leaf of a plant.
Yes, it's mango plant.
So basically, can anyone one of you tell me that how you recognize this is a, you know, mango leaf or something else?
Yes, sir. Actually, we see things and the data is stored in our memory and we recall it whenever things come in front of us.
ठीक है, तो आप में तो कोई बता सकता है कि वो डेटा कहाँ स्टोर होता है मेमोरी में? Because brains में तो कोई memory ऐसी चीज है ही नहीं ना. We don't have something called as a box of, you know, box where we can store it. There is nothing in the brain, right, where we can store simply, you know, the data. So how that information is stored और उसको retrieve कैसे करते हैं? How that information is retrieved? A very logical and intuitive things, right? We should know if we are going through this course. Actually, what happens? Listen, what happens when we look at certain objects? जैसे कि जब आपने पहली बार लेट्स से कोई मिठाई खाई होगी, राइट? ओके, कोई मीठा खाने पर क्या होता है? आपको मीठा लगता है, ओके? तो वो मीठा आपको पता कैसे चलता है कि वो मीठा है या कड़ू खाया है तो कड़ू है, राइट? Whether it is sour or sweet, whatever be the taste. What happens actually whenever you look at something, you know, taste something, you touch something, right? What happens in the brain? ऐसा होता है कि जब आप पहली बार किसी चीज को देखते हैं, राइट, और या जब आप पहली बार किसी चीज को टेस्ट करते हैं, देन देयर इज अ सेट ऑफ न्यूरॉन्स इन द ब्रेन, ओके, व्हिच एक्चुअली गेट्स एक्टिवेटेड फॉर दैट, ओके. They are different for different tastes, they are different for different activities, they are different for different colors, they are different, you see, right? So those set of neurons are activated, okay, and that activation with when done multiple times, okay, तो वो जो एक्टिवेशन का पैटर्न होता है, again I have come to the pattern because patterns are everywhere, even in the human brain, right? So there is a pattern of, you know, pattern which is you know, which has formed in the brain for a particular activity, object, sensation. हम कुछ भी खाते हैं या कुछ भी टेस्ट करते हैं, कुछ भी टच करते हैं, so there is a pattern of neurons or the neuron activations or neuron excitations in the human brain which again replicate itself when we again do the same thing, and it keeps on replicating. तो जब भी आप, जैसे मान लीजिए आपने अभी मुझे देखा, right? When you will again see me after say 2 or 3 hours, then you will recognize me, because what happened when you watched me, right? Okay, when you are watching the video, then what happened? Some specific neurons in the brain are getting activated for this phase, okay, and then again you will and then let's say after 3 hours you are again, you know, meeting me, okay, even after that 3 hours again the same set of neurons will get activated or excited. So this is the pattern formation in the brain which happens again and again. So from the beginning of this session to the end of the session, patterns will be there, right? So always notice the pattern because they are very important and they help us to understand the complex problems and also to break them into simpler one. This is simple model you all have gone through. I'll just finish it in you know, in a minute. Okay, so simple neuron model. In every system we have some input and some output, and then we have some processing unit everywhere. Okay, even the camera, even the system mobile you are using, right? You are giving some input, you are getting some output out of that. Okay, you are feeding your battery power to that, and you are getting, you know, the video or the audio coming out of that. Right? So there is something like that, and this neuron cell is nothing out of that, nothing, you know, out of that, you know, phenomena. So we are having input through the dendrites, output through the axons, and then we have some processing unit which is soma or cell body, And then we are having there is something called as the myelin sheath. This myelin sheath is important in communication. ऐसा क्यों? Why this myelin sheath is important? अगर आप this is important, please look into this. What can we see easily? That here we are looking at this output branch, which is a longer one, and then there is a layer of something. Okay, तो हमको पता है what is the equation of finding the resistance? R is equals to what? Rho into L upon A, right? So what happens when cross-section area of the wire increases, the resistance decreases. Say, I'm just connecting the electronics and the electrical branch or the Ohm's law to this neuron here. Okay. So what happens when there is a myelin sheath? What it does, it increases the myelin sheath in the neuron, okay, or which is over the axon in the neuron. It actually increases the cross-section area, and once cross-section area is increased, there is a reduction in resistance. And once there is least resistance, then the communication is better. Simple. We know the electrons follow the least resistance path. So you can have a look into this on the myelin sheath. And then we are having the nerve endings. Yes, anyone? Then we have the nerve endings, which actually connects to any other neurons. Okay, so actually we have taken a simple neuron, but it is an interconnection of billions and millions, billions and even trillions of interconnections are there, right, among them. Right. This is a simple neural model. Why a modeling is required? We need to convert everything which is available in the real world, to a mathematical one, so that we can apply it. And we can simulate the real world, phenomena in a system. Sorry. So here X1, X2, X3 are the inputs, and Y is the output. And then at the center, we are having the same operation as it was performed in the cell body of a neuron. You have gone through it, right? Thank you. Right. And then the next thing is that, again, a bit more advanced model of the neuron, in which what we are doing, we have taken weights, we are having inputs, we are having weights and biases and activation functions, and then we are having output. And how it actually works. When we talk about this, this diagram of the neuron, how neuron works. न्यूरॉन दो तरीके से काम करता है. एक्चुअली तरीका एक ही है, लेकिन जो न्यूरॉन का आउटपुट होता है, इट इज ईदर 1 or 0. And but in terms of neuron, what we say, a neuron will either fire or not fire. This is the terminology of the neuron. It will fire or it will not fire. So हम क्या करते हैं, हम फायर को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं 1 से और नॉट फायर को 0 से. Okay, so when it fire, it means it is passing that current through the to other neuron connected to it, right? Okay. तो एक तरह से इसका जो आउटपुट है वो बाइनरी होता है. आप समझ रहे हैं what I'm trying to explain here? That fundamentally the output of a neuron is binary, whether it will fire or it will not fire. And this is something written here, like Y is 0 and 1. Y belongs to 0 and 1. Okay, and in the same way, the X also belongs to 0 and 1. Why? Because the X is the input which we are again getting from some other neurons output. Okay, so it is again in the range of 0 and 1 ideally. Right. And then we have this, weights are there. Whatever input we are taking, there is something called as a synapses are there, which puts a weight into the input, and then they are summed up. You may have gone through this. What happened? We are having input, they are getting multiplied to a weight. Okay, and then we sum up all the inputs, and after that we compare that summation with a threshold value. Okay, with a threshold. Normally, ideally we compare it with the threshold, and if this summation of all the inputs multiplied with their weights is greater than the threshold value, okay, if it is greater than the threshold value, then the neuron will fire. And if this summation assume this is a summation. This summation of all the inputs with weights is less than the threshold, then it will not fire. It means if the sum of inputs is greater than this threshold, then it will fire, otherwise not fire. Fire means the output is 1, not fire means the output is 0. Simple. Very simple operation. But here it has got a bit complex because we have got a new term which is called as the activation function and the bias. Okay, bias को मैं explain करूँगा. Okay, after some time. I'm not getting biased, right, about the content. I'm just going to explain it, and then we have the activation function, and then we get the output. I'm going to explain it. Don't worry. Well, simple calculations in A and N. Okay. So I'm just going to explain it. Right. Just a minute. So now I'm just going to explain about the simple ANN operation, right? I'm just going to give, a very simplistic model. Just a minute. Okay. Let's say I'm having a neuron. Okay. Let's say this is neuron I'm having. Okay. And then it has got certain inputs. Assume that the inputs are simply X1 and X2. Okay. We have got weights W1 and W2 and some output say Y. Okay. This is the output, right? But actually, let's say I'm writing it as Y out. Okay. Y out. Why? This is the actual output we are getting. But as I said that there are some more operations are being performed, and what are they? I'm just going to, write them here. What happens actually? सबसे पहले क्या होता है? The weights are multiplied to the. Firstly, what happens? The weights are multiplied with the W1 multiplied with the X1, and W2 will be multiplied with the X2. Okay, and it will be summed up. Okay. So this will be summed up, and I call this sum value as Y in. This is some sort of notification I am taking into consideration here. Okay, don't worry. You can write anything, whatever you want, right? I have taken it Y in because this is just a summation of the input. Yeah, मैं ऐसे Y sum भी लिख सकता हूँ. Okay, no problem. You can write it the way you want. Okay. Now this Y in. So somewhere here, I have calculated the Y in, right? Y in. But not the Y out. So what the Y out will be, to get the Y out, what I will do, the Y out will be what? Y out is actually calculated by considering the threshold. मैंने threshold के बारे में बात करी थी आपसे, right? We use a threshold, which is called as the theta. Let's say I'm taking theta as a threshold. So if Y in is greater than theta, there are two things possible. Y in is less than theta or greater than theta. Less than, or let's say greater than or equal to, okay, theta. Just a minute. So what can happen here is that it can be greater than. When it is greater than, what will happen? The axon will fire. Okay. Axon will fire, and in this case, it will not fire. With respect to the axon terminology, the neuron, but actually what will happen when it will fire, the Y out will be equals to 1, and here for this case the Y out will be equal to 0. A very simple model, right? Very simple, simplistic model. We have taken two inputs, okay, and there are corresponding weights W1 and W2, okay, and then we are comparing, we are summing it up, we are summing everything we are getting from the input, and then everything summed up is compared with the threshold value, and if the value is greater than the threshold, then the neuron will fire, and when neuron fires, its output is 1, it's considered as 1, and when it doesn't fire, then its output is considered as 0, right? Okay, So this is what a simplistic model, right? तो यहाँ पर important क्या है? So what are different variables there? We can see that here W is a variable. Just a minute. We can see here that this W, this W is a variable. Sorry, this W2 is again a variable because X1 and X2 are fixed. Okay, and there is one more variable. We can see that this theta is a variable. Okay. Right. So this is a variable. We can change it. We can change this one also, and we can change W1 also. Okay. So I'm going to use it right further in further further slides कि इसको change क्यों करते हैं, कैसे करते हैं और उसका क्या effect होता है, right, in the system. This is a simple model. So how we represent it? Actually, we represent it simply by some symbols are there which are used, and what are they? We simply use this summation symbol here, and then this is a symbol for thresholding. Okay. Here the symbols used, and where sigma represent the summation, of the when the inputs are multiplied with weights and then added up, and then we are having that thresholding is represented by this symbol. And there are different things possible there. We can use the simple thresholding, a simple number, or we can use the we can use something called like the there are sigmoid functions are there, different activation functions available, which you may have discussed, right? Okay. Okay, so this is a simple model. Okay, and after this, I'm just going to explain one more slide. Okay, so this y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, this y is equal to mx plus c is going to be the core of our today's talk, or the today's this session. Why so? That you will get to know very soon, because the line equation is the very simplistic thing which we all are aware of, and I have taken this as an example because it will reflect all the properties of the neural network. It will tell us about the classification. It will tell us about the about that how basically how we can identify a missing value in a given set. Okay, that we will just find out, right? So y is equal to mx plus c. I hope every one of you know the equation of the line, where y stands for the output, x is for the input, and c is intercept at the x-axis or y-axis. This is going to be very important. I think c is intercept at the x-axis or y-axis. Nobody responded. No problem. Okay. So just a minute. Okay. Now, as we know, a very simple thing, that y is equals to mx plus c. Okay. Okay. Y is equal to mx plus c, right? We all know that. Exactly, we know that. अब मैं क्या करने वाला हूँ? I'm just going to let you know the application of artificial neural network in classification and how it is related with the neuron model. Okay, right? The simplistic neuron which we have just seen. Okay, how it is connected with that. So let me take an example. Let's say I'm taking. Let's say now I'm going to draw a plot here. Okay. This is the x-axis and y-axis. Okay. Then let's say in the x-axis, I'm having say height of the person, height, and on the y-axis, I'm having weight. Okay, let's say in kg. In the x-axis, I'm having height in say feet. Okay, okay, right. So what I just did is that I have just taken the x and y axis, in which this height is going to be the dependent parameter or independent parameter. Well, look, this is what, this is the x-axis, okay, x-axis, and this is what, this is the independent parameter. Well, independent parameter, and y is the dependent parameter, and y is the output, and this weight is going to be the y in this case. Okay, so this is x. So now what will happen, let's say, अब जैसे मान लीजिए आपकी क्लास में 60 स्टूडेंट्स हैं, ओके, तो हम क्या करेंगे, वी विल और मान लीजिए कि उनमें से 55 स्टूडेंट्स अवेलेबल है, ओके, assume that कि हम we are just doing an experiment and we are just trying to get the height of each and every individual of the class, okay, and assume that we are having we are having some person having the height of this much and weight of this much. So this is the person one. Then there is some person is here, okay. Then let's say there is some person who's here, whose height is this much but weight is very high, okay. He may be very, you know, bulky, possibly. And there is a person whose height is very much but weight is very less. Let's say here. So that person is going to be thin, possibly, okay. So what we are doing, we are just, you know, getting this random data here, okay. You can see that I'm getting a random data here. Just a minute. Okay, I'm just getting this random data, okay, like for the height and weight, okay. ठीक है, इसमें किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम है? I think this is very obvious, because let's say there are 60 students. Again, assume there are 60 students in the class, and out of those, you know, let's say 50 has given their data, okay. 50 out of 60 students have come for the experiment, and we have calculated their height and weight, and then we have plotted it in this xy plane, okay. Now what we are going to do, now we are going to fit a line, okay. When I say fit a line, okay, I mean to say that this is a way to, you know, to basically model, this is a sort of mathematical modeling in which is used for, you know, prediction. आपने regression का नाम सुना होगा, right? So क्या होता है कि a line is going to be fit. Just a minute. Come to Z. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to draw a line here. Let's say this is the line which I have got as a best fit for the given data set. ठीक है, आप लोगों ने थर्ड ईयर में आई थिंक पढ़ा होगा, सॉरी सेकेंड ईयर में पढ़ा होगा, थर्ड सेमेस्टर मैथमेटिक्स में, ओके. So how to fit a line, okay, for given point. So this is the line fitting, okay. So what we did, we have just fitted a line here, okay. Now after this, for the 50 out of 60, okay, this is the line. Now you can simply say that, what can you say, what will be the equation of this line? This will be in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. I think we are clear with that the equation of this line we are getting will be y is equal to mx plus c. Definitely it will be in this form, okay. Yes, it will be, right? It will be in this form. And then what, अभी हमारे पास what data we had data for only 50 students, okay. Now if this is the line which you want, okay, which we have got actually, right, for this particular line, इस लाइन को ऐसा भी हो सकता है, ऐसा, हाँ, इसमें हम ये भी देख सकते हैं that this line can be why not like this or why not like this, right? ये लाइन क्यों नहीं हो सकती, ये भी तो हो सकती है, लेकिन केवल यही बेस्ट फिट क्यों है? Why this line is the best fit? क्या कोई मुझे बता सकता है? Why only this line is going to be the best fit for the given data point which we have observed? Can anyone tell me? Anyone interested in mathematics, linear equations and plots? why this line is the best fit.
Yes sir, I will try it.
हाँ please बताइए.
Sir, it has something to do with symmetry as well as there is something called perpendicular distance from point to line and whole square side. So
exactly. We do that. We can do the perpendicular also, no problem, right? We can do that. Exactly. आप सही कह रहे हैं. हम क्या करते हैं इसमें देखिए. What we do, we actually calculate the error. Right? Listen carefully. What we do, we calculate the error. And what we are trying to do, we are trying to get a line by drawing which we can get the minimum error. Okay, we can get the minimum error. So what I mean by the minimum error, right? It means every point here has some distance with this point. Okay, we can draw the perpendicular also. Okay, so what we'll do, you can see that from every point draw a line. Okay, I'm just taking the distance in y-axis. Okay, see the other lines I'm having. Okay, let's say I'm having one point here. Let's say I have another point here also. Okay. So what we calculate, if you can see that we are getting different length for different point, and then we will sum them up and we will calculate the error. Okay, we'll sum them up. Actually we are squaring it. वो क्यों करते हैं, that I will let you know later. But we squared it, we sum it up. Okay, and then we call it a error, complete error, right? The error we are getting. And now what will happen? Now suppose that we have changed this line from here to here. Please watch very carefully, right? What I did, I have just changed the line from here to say here. Okay. I have changed the line from here to here. In this case, what will happen, if you will find out the position of points and their distance from this line, what it will be something like from the previous point, it will be like this is the distance. Okay, for this point the distance will be very high like this. Okay, because this line will go, you know, further, and for this point the distance will be like this. If I'm not doing the perpendicular, we can also draw the perpendicular, right? We can also draw the perpendicular to this line, but here I am taking like this. We can take that also as a parameter. And then from this point, you know, this is the line, this is the line. So you can see that, what you can see that the difference we are getting from the line we have taken as a best fit is more. It means the error is more. Okay. So what we're trying to do, we are trying to reduce this length, right, between the line and the points. And this is how we have achieved this line as a best fit. Why? Because we are having, you know, the length is small. You know, you can see that. You can see those green lengths and these blue lengths. The length of these blue points, okay, it is very small, but those green ones are very higher. Okay, so the same thing will happen if we will move our line here. Okay, right? So this is something very possible. अब आप मुझे ये बताइए, the line we are moving is what? The line we are moving is actually, we are changing. What we are changing? We are changing this parameter. Okay. I think everyone is agreeing with me on this. Actually, when we are, you know, tilting the line here and there, tilting the line, we are actually changing what? We are actually changing the slope of the line, this M. Okay, this M is a slope which is being changed, getting changed. Okay. Are you getting me? We are changing the slope, right? Now, what is this C? Now, what will happen? Say, अभी ये जो line है, just suppose that this line is going through a 0, 0 line. Okay. Let's say that for time being that this line is going, sorry. Let's say this line is crossing the origin. Okay. This line is crossing the origin. So in this case, the value of C, in this case, the value of C will be what? The value of C will be, we know that it will be 0. Okay, it will be simply 0. It will be 0. Okay, when it is passing through the origin. Okay, लेकिन अब देखिए पहले हम m को समझते हैं. m के केस में when we were rotating the line, the error was changing. Okay, the error was changing. When we were rotating the line, the error was changing. Okay, so before getting ahead, let me here draw again the model of neuron and the equation of that. आपको पता है हमने ड्रॉ किया था, एक सर्कल था. There was just say a few inputs were there. Okay, we were having x1, x2, w1 and w2, and we were having y. Okay, so now what output we were getting? Actually we were getting w1 x1 plus w2 x2. Okay, we were getting it like that, and that's something we have written as y out, and then y in, and then we have summed it up. Okay, and then compared it with the threshold. लेकिन अगर हम normally बात करें, एक general बात की जाए, then we can represent it simply in like w1 x1 plus w2 x2. ठीक है, और अगर हम linear algebra की बात करते हैं, in that case, okay, w1 w2 and x1 x2. Can we write it like this? Why? Let's say I'm taking it as wide out. So actually what can we do? The w and x, different w's and different x can be written in the form of a matrix. Okay, in the form of a matrix. So when we are writing them in the form of matrix, let's say capital W is a matrix of all weights and capital X is a matrix of all inputs. Okay, so we are having y, and then there is a bias term also there. If it is there, this bias is actually added here. That's why I'm writing it like a small b. What is the use of bias? You will understand from here. Okay. Now what can we see? I'm just going to let you know the use of bias. Now we can compare these two lines, these two things. What? We can compare this equation with this. I'm simply drawing a line. We can compare these two equations, right? Simply. Okay. These two are comparable. Are they or not? Yes, they are. It means I can say that the equation of line which we had there, which we have plotted itself, is very much similar to what we have just, the output equation of the neuron. Okay, जो neuron का जो equation होता है और जो एक line का equation होता है, दोनों same है for single neuron which I have taken there here, right? तो अगर आप यहाँ पर एक और चीज देखेंगे comparison के बारे में, so this m here is comparable to what? This m is comparable to w. Okay, this m is comparable to w. देखिए इसमें आप ऐसा भी देख सकते हैं कि m को ऐसे बनाते हैं और w को ऐसे बनाते हैं. Okay, so it just get reversed. ये लॉजिक नहीं है, राइट? लॉजिक इज दिस ओनली, राइट? सो डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज कि m को ऐसे बनाया और w को ऐसे बनाया, दैट्स व्हाई बोथ आर कनेक्टेड. ओके, so it's not like that. So what can we see? By comparing two equations, we can simply say that the slope of the line is something which is weight in a neural network. It has to be very clear. The slope of a line is a weight in a neural that neural network. It means अगर हम किसी भी न्यूरल नेटवर्क के वेट को चेंज कर रहे हैं, ओके, इफ वी आर चेंजिंग द वेट, ओके, इट मींस वी आर चेंजिंग द लाइन. समझ रहे हैं? इफ वी आर चेंजिंग द वेट, इट मींस वी आर चेंजिंग द लाइन. Okay, and that line may be used as a classifier sometimes. So if we are classifying two objects or the two things or the two classes, then if this line will move by changing weights, then classification will not be clear or there will be more error, right, on that. And then we can compare this C with the B or the bias. अब bias क्या करेगा? अब C का term क्या होता है? In this case, what we are having the value 0. Okay, for this line, for this slope, the value is 0. And now, what if we will change the value of C? I'm going to draw the blue line again. If we'll change the slope, sorry, if we'll change the value of C, then this line will, this line will simply go up. Okay, or this line may simply go down. Okay, both of these things are possible. Okay, so this is something. So I can say here that what I can say. So this is the phenomena. Okay, this is the phenomena for bias. This is the phenomena for bias. What happened? We have a parallel line, okay, and when we change the value of B, it means it will go up or it will go down. Okay, if we'll add it, it will go up. If we'll reduce it, it will go down. Simple, right? तो अब आप न्यूरल नेटवर्क और एक लीनियर इक्वेशन को कंपेयर कर पाएंगे. इसमें आप देख सकते हैं that when we are changing the B, that line is moving up and down, okay, and many more, and by this way we can, you know, and the classification can be affected. अब क्लासिफिकेशन कैसे अफेक्टेड होगा वो मैं आपको बताता हूं अभी. ओके, आई थिंक वी ऑल आर क्लियर विद दैट. अगर आप में से किसी को भी इसका स्नैपशॉट लेना हो, देन प्लीज टेक इन योर मोबाइल इफ यू वांट, because this slide is pretty important, in which you can get to know the, you know, the differences, right, that how a linear equation or the line as a classifier is related with, you know, the equation of a neuron, of a simplistic neuron, which I have taken. So basically this C here, I can write here, this C is for the bias, okay, and that this M is here is for the weight, right, and this is how these two things are related. And this is core of today's class, okay, today's session, right? I wanted to let you know this thing. Once you are clear with it, you know, you are able to visualize, right, what will be the effect of weights. If we are tweaking the weight, we are changing the weight, we are changing the bias, then what will happen to the network? Okay, we can very easily find it out, right? This is not a, you know, very complex mathematics. I have taken the very simplest form of you know, representation which we can discuss right at the beginning. And after that, one last representation for this. Okay. Now next one, I'm just going to take the same example. Let's say I'm having a XY axis. I will be using the same example which we have just discussed. Okay. Again, we have the same X and same Y. Okay. And now we are having a line. I'm again having a line here. Okay. This line. Now this line is working as a classifier. जब हम classifier की बात करते हैं, it means it is dividing, you know, two things. Okay. Let's say black and white. Let's say there may be a sun sign or not. Okay. There we are going to get the profit or not in the business. It can be anything. And with respect to disease, it can be like we are. I'm just going to be you know, COVID positive or not. Okay. So just assume that this is the, you know, these are the sample size for one class. Okay. Sample domain for one class. Let me change the color. Let's say this is the sample domain for one class. Okay. And then we are having another sample domain is here. Okay. So basically we can identify that कि इस case में we have got two classes and this line is dividing these two classes. अब देखिएगा, बहुत ध्यान से सुनिए, right? It is very important, and if you understand it, you are done with, right, the basics of neural networks. Okay. So the equation of line, we know y is equal to mx plus c. That's equation we have taken. Now let's say I am changing the weight. उसे change क्यों करते हैं और कैसे करते हैं, that is a different thing. But assume that we are changing the weight, right? That what will happen if I'm changing the weight? Then what will happen? See, if I'm changing the weight, then this line, sorry, if I'm changing the weight, what will happen? Actually, this line will rotate either in this direction or in this direction. ठीक है, यही होगा. This line will rotate. अब अगर rotate होगी तो कहाँ जाएगी? If it will rotate, so then in this case it may go here like this. Okay. अगर ये ऐसे tilt होती है, right? If you are changing the weight and if it move like this, in this case आप देख सकते हैं that our line is intersecting one of the classes. जबकि नॉर्मली क्या होना चाहिए, लाइन के एक तरफ एक क्लास होनी चाहिए और दूसरी तरफ दूसरी क्लास होनी चाहिए. दैट्स इट. ओके, देयर शुड नॉट बी एनी इंटरफेरेंस बिटवीन द बाउंड्री, decision boundary we are taking and the classes we are taking. Okay, they have to be very ideally separated, okay, or well demarcated. Okay. And if let's say the line moves in this direction, even in this case, we will not get a clear classification of these two classes, right? Here, assume that this has a class 1. I'm simply writing as C1, and this has a class 2, right? Like C2. So class 1 and class 2 we are having, and those are normally separated by this blue line. But when we are moving the blue line here and there by changing the weight, okay, then we can see that we are getting the interference. Okay, right. And now what other thing can happen to it? Other thing can happen, we can change the bias also. When we'll change the bias, then this line will go up or down. Up, like it may go like here. Okay. Even in this case also, there is misclassification, or it can move down. Even in this case also, there is misclassification. Okay. So these green lines are representing the change in bias, and these change in angles or the rotation of the line is represented by the change in weights. And we are having x and y axis. It can be anything, right? We have simply taken an example and which represents the classes, two classes, and how to separate them out. इसमें किसी को कुछ doubt है या previous में, then you can ask now, and then we can proceed for the next thing. Yes, anyone has any doubt so far? That was very easiest form of mathematical modeling of a neuron and its relation to a linear a line as a classification and as a classifier and also as a regressor, right? If anyone has any doubt so far?
Student, if you have any queries, then you can ask. You can raise your hands.
अच्छा, क्वेरीज के अलावा कुछ और भी पूछना चाहें वो ही पूछ सकते हैं, राइट? क्योंकि आप लोग कुछ बोलते नहीं है तो बिल्कुल एकदम it's not
anything
good to just just keep on speaking. I also teach yoga, so तो आप उसके भी क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं. Then which asana to be performed for which disease and सूर्य नमस्कार कैसे करते हैं? You can go through everything. You can ask for.
Sir, yeah, sir, I have a personal question to you.
हाँ, बताइए.
Sir, can you share something about your experience at Southampton? You went for postdoc.
No, actually आपको आपने किसी और का बायो देख लिया है. This is not mine. Okay. I didn't go there. I have been in India, right?
So, sir, can you tell your experience for your PhD in IIT?
No, actually, I did not do the PhD in IIT. I was a research scholar there for 2 years. I worked on a project as a senior research fellow in IIT Patna for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And after that, I taught at different places, in sometimes in Dehradun, in Aligarh, and then now here in Gwalior. Okay. Thank you for asking some questions. So now we can proceed with the, with the next slide. Okay. My slides are very, simple. There's just one line, right? Weiswald MS plus C, we are done. Now the next thing is, yeah, ANN learning cycle. We are running actually out of time and I need to cover it. Okay, let me go a bit faster. ANN learning cycle क्या होती है? And then we have parameter mapping. Okay, I will go very fast now, so that because ये चीज important थी. Once you are able to understand it, then you can understand everything else also very easily. Okay. Now, so what is the cycle of learning? Okay, learning में क्या होता है? We have got some inputs. Okay, let's say X. Okay, we got them processed by a ANN. Okay, then we are getting some output, say Y. Okay, so we have given some input, we are getting some output, but actually what happens, जो हमें output मिलता है, and there is some expected output actually, right? I'm writing it as Y hat. Okay, जब भी आप कोई काम करते हैं तो आप सोचते हैं कि भाई ये काम इतना हो जाना चाहिए. ओके, अब फिर आप करना शुरू करते हैं तो कभी कभी मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम क्या होता है, वो काम उतना नहीं होता जितना होना चाहिए. ओके, कुछ रह जाता है. तो ये जो वाई कैप है, ये वो काम है जो आप पूरा करना चाहते हैं. अगर हम क्लासिफिकेशन की बात करें, लेट मी टेक अ सिंपल एग्जांपल. let I just suppose that I want to classify an object whether it is a mobile or not. That's it. Okay, so there are just two classes. An object is going to be mobile phone or not. It's going to be a smartphone or not. Okay, that's it. Just two things. So now let's say I have shown this object. In this case, you will say yes, this is a mobile. Okay, but let's say I am saying I'm showing you this thing. Then what you will say in this case, you will say what will be the what is this? What you will say? This is a pen. No, we will not say this is a pen. In terms of machine learning, machine don't understand it, right, by their own. We will say this is a mobile phone, and we will say this is not a mobile phone. That's it. Okay, and these are the two classes. Again, let's say I am having this object, I'm showing this to the camera or the machine. Then again, for this also, it will be classified as this is not a mobile phone. Okay, आप समझ रहे हैं मैं क्या कहना चाह रहा हूँ? Let's say I'm showing my hand. Okay, again it will say that this is not a mobile phone. So every time it will be shown a mobile phone, only then it will say it is a mobile phone. It is one, otherwise it is zero for everything, rest of the things. Okay, so here this Y cap is something which is a mobile phone which you want, but Y is something, it may be a leaf or something else, right? So what we'll do, how we actually train a network, मैं आपको बताने जा रहा हूँ. हम train कैसे करते हैं, मॉडल कैसे करते हैं. ANN में कुछ पैरामीटर्स होते हैं. ANN has got some parameters. Okay, writing ठीक है. I think I will try to improve it. Right. It's parameters. Okay, we have got some parameters in ANN. Okay, वो parameters क्या होते हैं? Parameters are nothing but variables in there, right? तो variables क्या थे? We had W as a parameter. Weight, W was what? It was weight. Other than that, what other parameters we had? We had bias also. And what else we had? Anything other? We have activation functions. We have got some inputs and outputs. Are they parameters? No. So let me come here. So we are having Y and Y cap. What we do, we simply take the difference between these two. Okay. Difference. Let's say I'm taking this as plus and this as minus. You can take anything. Okay. आफ्टर दैट डिफरेंस, ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द डिफरेंस, अब होगा क्या, ये जो आउटपुट हमें y मिला है, दिस इज समवेयर क्लोज टू दैट बट नॉट एग्जैक्टली दिस. सो व्हाट वी विल डू, on the basis of this difference, I'm calling it as error thing, ERR. Okay, you can write it anything. I'm writing it ERR, and then on the basis of this ERR, these parameters are changed actually, and especially the weights are changed. Weight समझ रहे हैं ना, इस error के बेस पे हम weights को change करते हैं, right? This is a part of system training. ये जो मैं आपको बता रहा था मोबाइल, दिस वाज अ पार्ट ऑफ सिस्टम टेस्टिंग, जब आप ट्रेन कर चुके हैं. लेकिन जब आप ट्रेन कर रहे होंगे तो कैसे करेंगे, दिस इज समहाउ वी ट्रेन इट. सो बेसिकली वी फीड ऑल द इनपुट्स, वी गेट सम आउटपुट, एंड दैट आउटपुट इज कंपेयर्ड विद द स्टैंडर्ड आउटपुट विच वी वांट. ओके, सो देयर इज एन एक्सपेक्टेड आउटपुट विच वी आर गेटिंग, एंड देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज actual output. So this y hat, this is actually actual output, and this y is this y is, you know, expected output. Not am I getting confused? No, yes, मैंने उल्टा कर दिया, right? Actually मैं इसको यहाँ लिखता हूँ. This is the expected output which you want, and this is the actual output which we are getting. Okay, so what we are getting and what we expect, there is a difference between the two, and that difference, okay, and that difference is taken again to change the system. अब देखिए, मैं आपको बहुत सिंपल एग्जांपल बताता हूँ. आप लोगों ने प्रिपरेशन की होगी जेईई की या किसी भी एग्जाम की, जब आप करते हैं तो क्या होता है, आपको पता होता है कि ये सिलेबस है, या अभी एग्जाम की प्रिपरेशन करते हैं, भाई इतना सिलेबस है, ठीक है, आप पढ़ना शुरू करते हैं, ठीक है. फिर आपके लेट्स से आपके फर्स्ट मिड सेम में कुछ नंबर आए, लेट्स से यू हैव गॉट 13 मार्क्स आउट ऑफ 20 इन फर्स्ट मिड सेम, राइट, और इन फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट ऑफ एनी इन इंडिया लेवल एग्जाम. तो आप क्या करेंगे, आप वी विल गो बैक एंड यू विल आइडेंटिफाई कहाँ पर कमी रह गई है, राइट, in which section I did not score good, okay, and then you will go and work more on those sections, okay, and then further you will get more marks. Let's say 100 marks का external एक कोई पेपर है इंडिया लेवल का, आपने प्रिपेयर किया, you have got 70 marks, okay, so there is a gap of 100 marks. So इस केस में ये जो 100 marks है वो y cap है, this y cap is 100, and this 70 what you are getting is your marks you are getting, and now the difference is 30, okay. अब ये जो 30 डिफरेंस है, ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दिस डिफरेंस यू विल चेंज योर प्रिपरेशन, ओके, हियर यू विल चेंज योर प्रिपरेशन, एंड इन न्यूरल नेटवर्क वी आर चेंजिंग वेट्स, एंड व्हेन वी चेंज द वेट्स देन व्हाट विल हैपन, लेट्स से आफ्टर सम टाइम you by changing preparation you are getting 80 marks. Now what will happen, this error will goes to 20, okay. Further आपने और तैयारी करी, let's say you have got say 90 marks, and here error got say 10. Let's say further you got 99 marks, now error you have got 10, okay. अब 100 भी ला सकते हैं, okay, it's up to you, you can got the 100 marks also, right. So what I wanted to you to understand here is that जब दोनों के बीच error कम हो रही है, okay, when the error is is reducing towards 1 and towards 0, what we want while while training a system, we want the error to be minimal. और हमने इसी चीज को डिस्कस किया था जब हमने लाइन प्लॉट की थी, इफ यू रिमेंबर, राइट, वी हैव ड्रॉन अ लाइन, वी हैव सर्टेन दीज वर्टिकल लाइंस हियर लाइक देयर एंड देयर, एंड देन वी सेड दैट व्हाट वी वांट द मिनिमम एरर, we want minimum error, and this is the reason why we want the minimum error, and it is connected with this also, okay, we should get the minimum error. और इसके लिए कुछ मेथड्स होते हैं, वो आप फर्दर सेशंस में पढ़ेंगे, which are called as the gradient descent, and many more methods are there, okay, that I'm not going to explain here, but yes, the error has to be minimal, तभी तो आपको मैक्सिमम मार्क्स आएंगे, राइट, आप समझ सकते हैं इसको. और अगर यहाँ पर हम पैरामीटर चेंज करने की बात करें तो हम क्या करते हैं एक्चुअली, on the basis of output or the difference we are changing the slope, okay, of the line, or we can also change the bias, right, if you want, but normally we work with the slopes, okay. Sometimes we can have this slope, or we can change the slope a little bit, okay. तो उससे क्या होगा, एरर चेंज होती है और एरर को हम मिनिमम करते हैं. सो एक्चुअली व्हाट वी डू, वी चेंज द वेट्स टू चेंज द लाइन सो दैट द एरर इज मिनिमम. This is my final line. I'm saying it again. We change the weights, right? To change actually the, you know, that slope of the line so that we can get the minimum error between the expected and the actual output. And this is what we call the cycle of, you know, learning. इसमें कोई क्वेश्चन है किसी को? You can ask now. This is called as the cycle of learning, right? You may get any other name for this, but I have created it on my own. This is cycle of learning. Anyone have any doubt? Just ask me in 30 seconds. Because now I need to go to some other parts. Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir.
Now let me come to the slides again. Parameters mapping, okay. And then we have COVID-19 detection. Okay, we are very close. Good. Parameter mapping क्या होती है? Listen it first. So, what is parameter mapping? Listen it first, then I'll just give a short notion of that. Artificial neural network में या किसी भी डिजाइनिंग में जो भी हम डिजाइन करते हैं, okay, that designing is done. Sorry,
sir, your slide is not visible.
Hello. Sir, yes, sir, मैं slide show नहीं कर रहा हूँ अभी.
Okay, fine.
I'm just showing my face.
Yes, fine.
Okay, so if you can zoom in, then no problem, right? Okay, exactly. What happens normally, जब भी हम कोई डिजाइन बनाते हैं, okay, we design it either a neural network or any other thing. We do it to solve a problem, okay, and that problem is real world, okay. But when we are talking about the computers and simulating and designing things, the computers cannot understand the environment by its own, right? तो जितनी भी डिजाइनिंग का काम होता है उसमें जो न्यूरल नेटवर्क साइंटिस्ट होते हैं या वी हैव डीप लर्निंग एक्सपर्ट्स वी हैव गॉट, उनका काम क्या होता है? उनका काम होता है, द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट वर्क वे दे हैव is what is this, that they need to identify the environment, okay, they need to identify what problem is there, and then they need to map the problems so that it could be, it could be fed into the neural network. समझ रहे हैं? Assume that this is a neural network, okay, this is a neural network black box, okay, we can say that now we are having some inputs to it and then we are getting some outputs, okay. So these inputs and outputs we are getting are what? They are always numbers, and actually they are binary in form, always numbers. But the problems we are having, let's say I'm saying a problem. I have taken a problem here, like identifying the COVID-19 patients are positive or not. Yeah, identify whether a person is diabetic or not. Okay, identify whether let's say I'm going to pass the exam or not. तो ये जो प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट्स हैं, क्या ये नंबर्स हैं? नहीं. These problem statements are not numbers, right? These problem statements has to be converted to numbers so that this neural network can take it in. Okay, the x1, x2, x3 we have taken as input. They has to be numbers, right? तो वो numbers को हम input लेंगे और numbers ही output आएंगे, और number output आने के बाद we need to map again those outputs to the real world solutions. So we have got some real world problem, we convert them into numbers, we feed it in, then we get output out of this in numbers, and then these numbers are again converted into real world solutions or mapped to the real world solution. So this is what I meant by the mapping, okay, mapping of parameters. Here parameters are input, right? How many inputs we are giving, how many outputs we are getting, and there are so many things which you will definitely go through in your next sessions. But for time being, this is something as a mapping which I wanted to let you know, because this is basics of designing. You have to know that how to convert a real world problem into numbers so that it can be fed into the system, and then again how the numbers we are coming out can again be converted back to the probable solution. Okay, so this is what I meant by the mapping in the slide. Then I've got the parameter, okay, parameter mapping. Yes, COVID-19 detection model. ANN using this and okay. यहाँ पर मैं आपको एक टूल के बारे में बताता हूँ. What you can normally use. I'm just going to let you know a very small, knowledge about Python, right? And its usage. How to use it and where to use it. Okay. Normally, अगर आपको Python पे काम करना है, then there are so many ways to work on that. There are so many what we say them softwares are available on which you can work, right? But actually, if you want to work, if you're working at a starting level, so what can you do? You can directly work on the browser. There is no need to start, you need to download those bulky softwares. You can directly go open the internet and can run the code. And this is something which I'm going to let you know now. There is something called as the Google Colab, right? There is something called as Google Colab. GOOGLE Through Google Colab, you can directly write your code and run it without any need of software. Without any need of any software, any runtime environment, you can do this, right? So with the help of that environment, I will explain a little bit about the sigmoid function, activation function. Okay, but before that, let's have a look on COVID-19 detection model concept using ANN. Okay, so hopefully in 10 minutes I'll be completing this thing, and then we have some more 10 minutes, right? So that model I have designed by myself. So I'll try to a summary of that. Just try to understand it. This model will help you to understand what we have discussed so far. Okay, it's not a complete model, but yes, something which you can easily understand and can apprehend well. Screen. Yes. This is. Okay. Now assume that a very simple model, right? I have taken just 5 persons. Okay. I'm just writing it here. Let's say there are 5 persons. Say I am writing them P1, P2, P3, P4, and P5 are 5 persons, and they have got some symptoms. What are the symptoms of COVID? Say cough, sneeze, or maybe cold, or let's say they are having some respiratory problem. Okay, respiratory problem, and then we will identify whether they are positive or not. Okay, COVID positive or not, ठीक है? So what we are going to do, आपको given क्या है? Let's say you have got 5 persons there. Now those 5 persons are not data. Okay, what our computer wants something in numeric form. So that we need to do. अब मान लीजिए किसी को खांसी आ रही है. ओके, लेट्स से कोई पर्सन 1 है, उसको खांसी है. सो इफ ही और सी कफ्स, अगर किसी को खांसी है, देन वी विल से इफ समवन इज कफिंग, इट मींस इट इज 1, एंड इफ अ पर्सन इज नॉट कफिंग, इट इज 0. दिस इज हाउ वी कन्वर्ट the activity into numbers. Simple. Are you getting what I'm saying? We can convert coughing into numbers. Like if one person is coughing, it means it is 1. If it is 0, it means it's not coughing. And the same thing is applicable to sneezing. 1 if he or she has cold, 0 if doesn't. Respiratory problems, whether he or she has the problem or not. Simply 1 and 0. Okay. So for person P1 has cough problem. Okay. P1 has also sneeze problem and has also no respiratory problem. Okay. So this is what I'm explaining you about the supervised learning. This is supervised learning in which we know the output. We know the output. Noble output means what? Here we know that the person came, he or she has this symptom, and they have got detected positive or negative. Positive का मतलब 1, negative का मतलब 0. So here I'm writing 1. So this person has got that I'll write later on. Okay. Let's say there another person who has got, say, no cough. Okay. And got sneezing and got no sneezing, no respiratory problem. The third person I have got has got cough, 1, 0 for sneeze and 0 for respiratory problem. Fourth person has got 1, 1 and 1. Fifth person is 0, 0 and 1. So this is what data I have got for 5 persons. Now what output I'm getting? I'm getting that this person is positive. I'm writing it 1. Second person is, 0. Third person is 0. Fourth and fifth persons are 1s. It means what I'm trying to say here is that the person 1, person 4 and person 5 have got detected positive with these symptoms. Okay. Okay. Sorry for the disturbance, right? So basically I've got the 3 persons who have got positive for these data. Okay. We have got this much input and this much output. We know that. Now what if any other persons comes? Now how it will work? Let's say we have got a new person. Let's say we have got a new person, say P6. Okay. And he has got some symptoms, say 0, 1 and 1. आप देख सकते हैं ये पैटर्न यहां पर नहीं है, ऊपर कहीं भी ऐसा पैटर्न नहीं है 0, 1, 1. तो अब हम फाइंड आउट करेंगे whether this person is going to be positive or not. What is going to happen with him? So even before heading ahead, you can easily understand the concept of mapping. Okay, we need to map. इस मैपिंग को मशीन लर्निंग में लेबलिंग भी कहते हैं. We need to label the data, right? We need to label the information which we are getting. Okay. और जो outputs हैं उन्हें हम targets बोलते हैं. We call them targets. Okay. In actual terminology, we call them targets. We have got labels. We have got targets. Okay. Right. So basically for these 5 persons, अब हम करेंगे क्या? For these 5 persons, we'll train the model, and then for 6th person, who is P6 here, we will test the model, and then we will try to get what we are getting, whether this person is positive or not. If it is, successfully detected, then it is great. Otherwise, there is some problem in the system, and we need to improve the artificial neural network, and we need to again run the cycle, which is the learning cycle of the neural network, and to minimize the error. Okay. So now I'm going to the coding part a bit. I think you have understood, right? What I wanted to say here is that we have got 5 persons with some symptoms, and we have got them tested, and we got that 3 of them are positive and 2 are negative. Okay. On the basis of this data, we can predict what is the possibility for the next person who is coming is positive or negative. Just a minute. Sir, my screen is visible. Can we see the screen of the Google Colab?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. So firstly, everyone have a look here. How to search for the Google Colab? The Google Colab, simply, go to the Google and search for the Google Colab. Okay. It is a very simple one. You will get it on the top of the, the search box, and you need to simply click here on the Google Colab. And then you will get some environment like this, where and yes, one more thing, you must have, log in using Google. Just a minute. Okay. So this is what platform I have, because I have already logged in. And then what you need to do, you need to just go to the file, and simply click on new notebook. Okay. Open the Google Colab, go to the file and click on the new notebook. Okay. When the new notebook opens, you can easily do everything on this, you know, on this in this web page, right? You need not to install any software. Now what I get here is actually an interactive environment. But इसमें काम करने के पहले आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा? You can see on the top here there is something written as connect. Okay, on the top right, a connect is written. You need to click here. Now you can see it is allocating something. And now connecting. You can see it is connecting, right? And after a few seconds, it will get connected. Now initializing and it's connected. Once it's connected, then actually we are utilizing the resources directly from the server of the Google. We don't have the resources. We don't have software. We don't have, you know, those GPUs, but we are using them. We are using the RAM, you can see, and the disk there in their system. We don't have it here, right? So this is the beauty of Google Colab. You can directly work your Python code here. Why Python I have taken? Because Python has a strong set of libraries available and a very dynamic programming language, which could be used in different, you know, platform, you know, which can be used in different domains, like in the statistics, mathematics, engineering, and so many things are there. Hacking and machine learning is one of those, right? So this is how you can open it. And then you can simply write your code here. Okay, like I have here, right? You can simply write your code and click here and the program will run. जैसा कि मैं यहाँ पे लिख सकता हूँ, I'm just writing a simple code. Say I'm writing print Saurabh Raghuvanshi. This is my name. Okay. Now I'm just going to print it. Now it is initializing now because it is in another tab. Okay. Now it's connected. Now I'm going to print it. Print. Now we'll see what I'm getting. You can see I'm getting the output Saurabh Raghuvanshi. Okay. So this is a very simple way to interact with the, you know, to basically start working with Python. Okay. जब आप start कर रहे हैं, आप यहाँ से start कर सकते हैं, right? If you know if you're having a book, practicing on it, just start from here, right? Simple codes. And even the tutorial of machine learning and data science is also available in itself in Google Colab, where you will get, you know, tens of, you know, the codes available there, which you can understand and work on. And if you have worked on the C programming or the C++, you can very easily understand the Python. This is one of the simplest language available. Okay, so this is the code. In this code, we'll visualize the sigmoid function. Okay. So firstly, we will import the libraries. Why libraries? जैसा कि C programming we normally do hash include stdio.h, conio.h. In the same way in Python, we do this thing. Okay, there are some libraries which needs to be imported. Then we are giving some input here. This input is given. Okay. After that, we are defining a function here, like def is a keyword used in Python, sigmoid, and we are actually writing this is the equation of sigmoid. 1 upon 1 plus e to the power minus x is the equation of the sigmoid function. Why a sigmoid is called a sigmoid? Because it is always in the form of s. You can see everything, you know, every function of the sigmoid category. Sigmoid is a category, is a class of, you know, is a class of signals. So everything you will see as just S shape is actually sigmoid, right? So this is again one type of sigmoid, and then we will print the output here using some, you know, that plot command which used here. I'm just going to run it. How to run it? Simply click on this button on the left, play button. It is done. Just because there is no print command, so nothing getting printed here. Then we are getting input to the neural network, not to neural network, but to the sigmoid. Then we are running it, and once we are plotting it, we are getting some error. Great. Python module. So maybe just a minute. plt.plot. Well, okay. Look, so basically this is how we need to run it, right? We're running out of time, so I'm not going to give it more. Okay, so this is how we need to simply run it, and what we'll get at the output, we'll get a sigmoid function simply like this. Okay, this is a sigmoid function, which is also an activation function, right? Used in neural networks. Okay. So this is how you can start working with the Python, right? Just start working with the Python. There is a very rich set of libraries available. You can start working with, okay? And then plt.plot. Well, I'll figure it out later, right? No problem. Just a minute, please. plt.plot. Okay, so it would take some time. Okay, it's name OUT PUT. So it's right. What just happened? Okay, we are running actually out of time. So please. So now the last thing which I wanted to share with you, okay, is this.
Dear students, I think there may be certain technical issue. So Raghuvanshi sir have disconnected. Okay. So in the meantime, you can drop your attendance in the chat box. You can write your roll number, name, and your branch name. Branch name should be in the short form like EE or ECE.
Dr. Satish, may I leave the meeting because I have another meeting of eButathon 2.
Madam, just if you can wait for another 2 minutes, Saurabh sir have also joined again.
Okay, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Saurabh sir. Yes, Saurabh sir.
Sir. Sir, actually the power has, abruptly gone.
Okay, sir, no issue, sir. So students, if you have any query, then you can ask any problems if you have any doubt.
लेकिन सर इसके पहले एक चीज बोलना चाहूंगा, एक सॉफ्टवेयर है, सॉरी एक वेबसाइट है जिसे हम बोलते हैं टेंसरफ्लो प्लेग्राउंड. देयर इज वेबसाइट कॉल्ड एज टेंसरफ्लो प्लेग्राउंड. ओके, तो वहां पर आप विजुअलाइज कर सकते हैं, राइट? यू कैन विजुअलाइज इट, द न्यूरल नेटवर्क. इफ एनीवन इंटरेस्टेड कैन विजिट द टेंसरफ्लो प्लेग्राउंड. थैंक यू सर.
ओके, थैंक यू सर.
और कोई डाउट है तो आप मुझे कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं, राइट? जस्ट टेक द इंफॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम सर प्लीज.
Yes, sure sir, thank you. So students, now you can raise your questions if you have.
Dr. Satish, may I interact with Saurabh sir and then I may leave the meeting?
Yes ma'am, sure.
Good evening, Dr. Saurabh. I joined little 5 minutes late because of some joining issues. So, but because you were delivering the talk excellently, nicely, so I didn't interrupt you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I am faculty colleague of Dr. Satish in the same department and coordinator of this particular short-term course also. Actually, we are conducting BIT Jhansi is organizing has organized e-Bootathon 2, that is about the virtual lab developments. So
Yes,
it has started, and I am coordinating that. It has started since 18th of this month till 24th. It will be. So there are 85 teams participated, and they are developing the virtual labs. So every day we are having practical sessions from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. So we mentor and we train, we check their simulations, etc. And the one which is which will be selected, that will be sent to the national portal, so that there it will be evaluated and then it will be uploaded on the virtual lab portal. So your delivery was excellent, extremely what I can say, it was intellectually stimulating, and you made it so interesting that I just didn't want to interrupt you in between. It was very nice. You have developed, in fact, you have developed the interest in among students. That was very important.
Okay.
That were really a very sir. Yeah.
Suppose मैं ये बोल रहा था अगर बच्चों को अच्छा लगे that's really wonderful thing. What I wanted the students to get involved in the neural network because this is one of the most promising technology of the time and will be dominantly used in coming research technologies around this.
Okay. This time your voice is not clear, sir. I think there may be certain technical issues. And I want to elaborate about Dr. Sahnaz ma'am. Sahnaz madam is actually she is now associate professor in our college and she is dean R&D at our college. So she is actually taking lead in organizing this workshop, this particular STC. So because of the busy schedule, she was not able to join on time, or there was certain technical issues. So your talk was very excellent, sir. Your all explanation, and you have gone through the overview of the NN and all the introduction part, as well as all the details that you were giving with a very basic example of a linear equation. So that was very much we can correlate it with the neuron. It was a very nice presentation.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for sharing your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe you can, if you can spare some time, maybe during this course, while the course is running, we may conduct once again your expert lectures, sir. If you can spare your time.
Ma'am, we can talk about, on which topic specifically we want to,
what is your area of specialization, sir?
Ma'am, actually, I'm working in the, I'm working in this EEG signal processing sort of things. EEG.
EEG. Electroencephalogram. Electroencephalogram. Yeah. Okay. So you are basically in electronics department or computer science department?
Electronics department. I'm from electronics department. I also work on the video codecs as .264 and EEG technologies and all those things.
Great, sir. I also, my areas is also biomedical signal processing. So we are like, I work on ECGs and a little bit on EEG, but mostly I work on ECG.
Okay. Great
to know, sir. Great to know that our areas are matching.
Yes.
And,
so ma'am, I figured out if there is any slot or if there is a matching between the content I wanted to deliver the availability of the slot, then we can.
Yeah, surely, sir. What I will do now, we'll go through the now just the course has started, so we will go through it and then we will find out that what are the areas where students again are needing expertization. Then accordingly, I will let you know the topics and then we can have, maybe mostly it may be related to this artificial neural networks or because these students, they do not have biomedical subject as such.
Right, no problem.
Elective. So
right.
maybe that.
So, ma'am, it was great being here and interacting with you all.
Yeah, it was very nice meeting you, sir. Really, it was very wonderful interaction. I was, I just joined when you were explaining that pattern part, and from that very moment, yeah, I was on the screen. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time and for your insightful speech on the topic. So on behalf of our department and on my own behalf and on behalf of our organizing committee, I am thankful and grateful to you that you have taken so much of pain and try to join us even after lunch. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Satish, any formality remaining about attendance?
No, ma'am. I just made one announcement for the students that tomorrow is another session that will start again at 11 a.m. So you can join positively. I will share the link.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. And if possible, you may send me the link on my SIU BIT JHS because I told you that my WhatsApp is not working.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I'll share.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Saurabh, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.